This is session 4. I'm going to quickly remind you of some of the things we have covered before now. Of course, I won't be able to cover everything. I'm just going to point your attention to some of the important things that we have covered before now. Of course, I said to you when we started about 5 weeks ago that you've got to find your way forward, because there is always a way out. There is always a way forward. You can never corner a champion. Okay, this is one statement you want to repeat to yourself no matter what the situation is. Tell yourself, I am the champion. You can never corner a champion. There is always a way out. There is always a way forward. When you find yourself in a dead end, at a dead end, you find yourself in a difficult situation, you tell yourself, there is a way out. There is a way out. You can never corner a champion. There is a way out. There is a way forward. Now, to find your way forward, in session 1, I told you to start with rest. You're going to find your way forward. I said, start with rest. Rest in God. Rest in God's love, rest in God's power, and rest in God's plan for your life. No matter what it is, remember, God loves me, God cares about me, God has a plan for my life, and God has the power to bring his plan to life, to pass in my life. And then secondly, I told you to rest in healthy relationships. If you are going to find your way forward, you want to make sure that you exit toxic relationships. That's what we covered in session 1. If you missed any of the previous sessions, I'm going to encourage you to go to my YouTube channel. Every session we've done before now, session 1, 2, 3 is on my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, I've created a playlist so you can just watch everything one after the other. In session 2, we said repair and reset. Repair and reset. And what did we mean by that? Review and resolve what happened objectively, and then reposition yourself for a better experience. And in session 2, I gave you 3 specific instructions. I said, fix the problem, not the blame. Okay, fix the problem, not the blame. In other words, even if someone maltreated you, refuse to play the victim in your own life. So fix the problem, not the blame. Secondly, I told you to query the past for valuable insight. Query the past for valuable insight. In other words, excavate valuable intel from your experience with critical questions. Okay? Ask critical questions so that you can excavate valuable intel from your experience. And finally, in session 2, I told you to take responsibility for your progress. Take responsibility for your progress, because there are certain things that nobody will do for you. Nobody will love you like you will love yourself. As a matter of fact, nobody will treat you better than you treat yourself. So you are the one that tells the world how to treat you, how to love you, how to respect you. That's why you have to respect yourself. You have to take responsibility for your own joy. Okay? Take responsibility for your own happiness. Nobody will do these things for you. Learn. Nobody will learn for you. Nobody will take you farther than you are willing to go by yourself. That's why I told you to take responsibility for your own progress. And then in session 3, I asked you to what? Embrace new beginnings. Okay? Embrace new beginnings. In session 3, I asked you a fundamental question. What are you willing to do to move your life forward? I need somebody to take down that question. This is one question you must ask yourself. After you have cried, after you have done whatever it is that you are going to do, ask yourself this critical question. What am I going to do to move my life forward? What am I going to do to change things? Because don't forget, there are some things that nobody will do for you. In session 3 also, I shared with you 3 major suggestions. I told you to embrace your true identity. Embrace your true identity. because self-awareness informs self-development. Okay? Self-awareness informs self-development. How you see yourself determines what you are willing to do for yourself. If you see yourself as royalty, you will treat yourself as royalty. If you see yourself as worthy of immense investment, you will invest immensely in yourself. That's why I told you to embrace your true identity. I said, number 2, craft a new vision. Craft a new vision. I shared with you the words of John Scully when he said that the future belongs to those who see possibilities before they become obvious. The future belongs to those who see possibilities before they become obvious. And in that session, I shared with you how to train your mind to see possibilities. And then finally, in session 3, we said you should develop a new routine. Develop a new routine. I shared with you the words of John C. Maxwell, where he said that you are today where your habits have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your habits will take you. There's a lot we said in all of these sessions. And like I said before, I'm going to encourage you to go to my YouTube channel and watch all these, this session, that we've done before now. Now, tonight is session 4. And it is very, very important. Tonight's topic is very, very important. And this is it. Stop fighting the wrong enemy. Stop fighting the wrong enemy. If you are paying attention, you will notice that, you see, in the progression, okay, we have shared how to recover from whatever devastation occurred in the past. We have shared with you how to start afresh. One major thing I notice that a lot of people, one major mistake I see a lot of people make is they come out of a difficult experience and then they go right back into habits that brought them or that got them into that tough place in the first place. And one of such habits is what I'm dealing with in this final session, okay? Stop fighting the wrong enemy. What do I mean by that? People are not your problem. Okay, people are not your problem. You may want to type it in the comments, okay, so that you can remember, because writing clarifies thinking. Okay, write it down somewhere. Put your name down and say, people are not your problem. Folusho, people are not your problem. Okay, Femi, people are not your problem. You need to realize people are mirrors. They reflect whatever it is that you send their way. People are agents of grace. People are God's pipeline of blessing. When God wants to do anything in a man's life, he will send, another man. He will send another man. So you can't afford to be fighting people. People are not your problem, okay? People are custodians of great opportunities. I want to share a statement with you that I don't want you to forget for the rest of your days. It encapsulates the essence of what I'm sharing with you tonight. And this is that statement. He who considers a fellow man his enemy needs not show up for battle. He is already defeated. He who considers a fellow man his enemy needs not show up for battle. He is already defeated. And what do I mean by that? Anybody who is not in love with people cannot go far in life. You need to realize that from the cradle to the grave, your life is all about relationships. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. There are wicked people out there. There are difficult people out there. But you have to see them differently. You can't afford to see them as the problem. You can't afford to see them as your enemy. Once you do that, you incapacitate yourself. You see, no matter how difficult a person is, there is a way to do life with them. That's the truth. So many years ago, I heard a very respectable man say that even the failure is useful, to God. The failure is useful. The failure has value. Just like the broken clock is right twice a day. A failure is proof and a sign to everybody coming after him saying what? Don't live the way I did. So everybody has value. Everybody has something they can contribute to you. The moment you start seeing people as your enemy, you cut off, your own resources. You cut off opportunities. There are people where opportunities are coming to them, and the moment their name comes up, somebody that they are not in good terms with shut down that opportunity. This is a question I want to ask you. In which places, is your name coming up and things are being shut down by people that you don't even know, that constitute an enemy to you based on the way that you have treated them? And this is what I'm trying to say to you. Don't allow, to the best of your ability, don't allow anybody to think that you and them are not at peace. That's what the Bible says. Follow peace with all men. With all men. The Bible also says, when a man's way pleases the Lord, he will make even his enemies to be at peace with him. Paul the Apostle said it this way. He said, as long as it is dependent upon you, be at peace with all men. Okay? Be at peace with all men. Now, somebody is wondering, if you say that people are not the enemy, then who is the enemy? All right? Or what is the enemy? I like to describe it this way. The real enemy is the N in me. The real enemy is the N in me. By that I mean the nay in me. My real enemy are factors in me that contradict my vision. My real enemies are my negative tendencies, my negative habits, my negative biases, my wrong perspectives, my wrong beliefs, wrong emotions, and wrong decisions. That's the real enemy. The nay in me. Okay? I have described it as such that you can always remember. The moment the word enemy comes, you say to yourself, the real enemy is the N in me. Things about me that are repugnant to my own success. Let me say it to you this way. If you don't stop yourself, nobody can stop you. I want you to read it slowly. If you don't stop yourself, nobody can stop you. Let that sink in. If you don't fail yourself, if you don't undermine yourself, if you don't sabotage yourself, nobody can sabotage you. For the rest of the time that we have tonight, I'm going to share with you quotes from 3 remarkable thought leaders, and then I'm going to share the rest of tonight's content in a question and answer form. The kind of questions I know people are asking, and the real answers to those questions. I'm going to consider about 4 of those questions tonight, and we are going to be done. Now, let me share with you the words of Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Let's also consider the words of Stephen Covey. He said, you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a product of your decisions. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a product of your decisions. And thirdly, I want you to consider the words of C.S. Lewis when he said, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. And this is what we are saying. People are as powerful in your life to the degree to which you have empowered them. They are as powerful as you make them. If you don't stop you, they cannot stop you. Okay, let me describe it to you in another way. When the force within you is greater than the forces against you, your victory is inevitable. I need to say it again. When the force within you is greater than the forces against you, your victory is inevitable. As a matter of fact, the Yorubas will say it this way, that when the enemy within has not destroyed you, the enemy without cannot. Okay, so you need to understand the degree to which you are affected by people is the degree to which you allow them. You see, people cannot influence you without your permission, and people cannot undermine you without your permission. You need to understand that even evil forces require your participation to be successful in your life. So it's taking us back to something we have said before. Take responsibility for your own life. Don't fix the problem, or rather, don't fix the blame. Fix the problem. Take responsibility. Tell yourself the truth. If it is going to be, it is up to me. If I don't allow it, it will not happen. If I say it is going to happen, then it will happen, because that's your design. You are that powerful. Now, somebody may be wondering, and these are the questions I just want to deal with as we, begin to wind down tonight. Now, somebody may be wondering, so how can I overcome the negative habits, in my life, or my negative cycles? This is my response to that. Don't focus on breaking negative habits and cycles. Focus on becoming a better version of yourself. Let's read that again. Don't focus on breaking negative cycles or negative habits. Focus on becoming a better version of yourself. This is what I'm saying to you. Focus amplifies. Okay? Focus amplifies. If you focus on your weaknesses, you will amplify them. Rather, focus on becoming better where you are good. Excuse me. Paul the Apostle in Romans chapter 12 and verse 21 said it this way. Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. So if you're dealing with a negative habit, or if you look at yourself and you notice that, look, you have a negative cycle, all right? In other words, you are up today, then something happens, and then another thing happens, and then before you know it, it's always like a cycle of maybe a 7-day cycle, a 5-day cycle. Some people is a 30-day cycle. You just notice you're traveling around in circles, okay? You are down today, you prefer solutions, you get up, you move forward, and then you notice a number of days later, you are back to exactly where you started from now. Instead of focusing on breaking that negative cycle or breaking a bad habit, focus on becoming a better version of yourself. And I'm going to give you 3 suggestions on how to do that tonight. Focus on what? On becoming a better version of yourself. Paul the Apostle said, you can conquer evil by doing good. So what you need to do is focus on doing good. What are those good things that I'm supposed to do with my life? Give those things your attention. Keep doing them. And over time, you would notice you will lose your taste, for evil. You would lose your desire for those negative patterns, negative habits, and negative cycles. After some time, you will just notice you're a different person. You're a new person, because the light shines in darkness, and the darkness cannot comprehend it. So instead of cursing the darkness, just turn on the light. Instead of telling yourself, I don't want to be a bad person, just focus on being the good person you were designed to be. I said, I'm going to give you 3 suggestions on how to do that. First, define your true identity. Okay? Define your true identity. Choose one word that best describes you. That's the first thing. Choose one word that best describes you. Now, secondly, define your lifetime goals. That's the second thing, I'm going to ask you to do. Define your lifetime goals. In other words, what do you want to dedicate the rest of your life to? It doesn't matter what happened in the past, what you did right or what you did wrong in the past. What do you want to do better at for the rest of your days? And then suggestion number 3 is close the gap between who you are now and who you are supposed to be. Now, that is where your focus should be, in closing the gap between who you are and who you could be. Give that your attention, give that your investment, and over time, you will see how that the process of transformation is taking place. Now, the people that are very close to you may not notice the changes easily, but after some time, it will dawn on everybody that this is not the same person anymore. I'm going to give you another idea that I believe works a great deal, and this is it. Gift attracts favor. Please take note of it. Gifts attract favor. In other words, when people benefit from your gifts, they reciprocate with favor. They will excuse your limitations and they will cover you with their strength. And this is what I'm trying to say. Each and every one of us were gifted, okay? There's something you have that other people value. Make a habit of being generous with your talents, with your gifts, and people will return that with favor. That's the truth. So if you want to break a negative pattern in your life, make use of your gift, and people who can cover you, people who can help your area of weakness will be attracted to you. Now, they will not see themselves as doing you a favor. They will see themselves as reciprocating the grace that is flowing from you. Now, let me describe it to you this way. You see, when you are using your gifts, it comes across to other people as being recipients of grace. Do you get it now? And what they do is what? To in turn offer you their own gifts, and then you also become what? A recipient of grace. That's why I said gift attracts favor. When you study it in the Greek, the root word for grace, the root word for favor, okay, so for gift and for grace are the same thing. It's also the same root word for joy. And there's a connection there. When you use your gift, you will experience grace, and together we will all experience joy. So when you want to break a negative cycle, focus on becoming a better version of yourself, leverage your gift, and you will receive favor. Another person may be asking this question: what should I do with my weaknesses? You have told me to focus on my strength. So what should I do with my weaknesses? Listen to this. Define them and then collaborate with people who complement you. That's what you do with your weaknesses. Define them and then collaborate with people who complement you. If you refuse to, define your shortcomings, and by the way, weaknesses are like noses. Everybody has one. So don't be in denial. Everybody has a weakness. When you look at people and they are shining, they are, flying, and they are, high up there, it's not because they don't have weaknesses. Perhaps it's because they have defined their weaknesses and they have intentionally collaborated with other people. Let me give a very practical example. This happens all the time. Okay. So I'm a pastor, so I'm going to use, pastor's example. A lot of pastors cannot sing, okay, to save themselves. There's so many pastors who cannot sing. So you know what they do? They have a team of competent singers, and all he needs to do is to tell them which song to sing. So you go for a service, for example, he preaches a good message, and then he says, okay, as we're rounding up, I want the choir to just come and sing this song. See, for the person in the audience, you have just had a beautiful experience, an excellent delivery of speech, and then followed by an excellent rendition of good music. Now, there are some other pastors who will sing and speak. Now, for the pastor who cannot sing, it does not matter. All he needs to do is to what? Identify it and make up his mind, I don't sing. So he empowers other people, he collaborates with other people. And what I'm trying to let you understand is there is no shortcoming you have that is not another person's strength. That's the truth. I'm not talking about character flaws. I'm talking about personal qualities that were not given to you. Let me use myself as an example. See, I care a lot about people, but I am not demonstrative. I don't come across as very empathetic. Okay, because I'm a strategist, I'm a go-getter, I lead the charge and all of that. And that takes a lot. Okay, I really am not as socially, I'm not as socially, what's the word I'm looking for now? I'm not socially gifted in that sense. Small talk drains me of energy. That's the truth. By the time I'm done with this session right now, I just want to lay up somewhere and sleep for like the next 12 hours. I don't want to interact with human beings. And it's in that state of mind that I come up with ideas, that I come up with everything that I do. Okay, the teachings, the books, everything. It is in that, I love solitude. But I've come to realize that if you love solitude so much and you are not socially relevant, you will consume your own wisdom by yourself. So what have I done? I have identified, look, socially you are not as strong. You don't connect with people easily. Small talk, wears you out. So what have I done? I have collaborated with people who are stronger in that area. My wife is one of such persons. So if anybody wants to come and visit me, if I want you to have a fantastic time, I will let you know what time to come. I will make sure my wife is around. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to discuss with you the very important things, and then I will disappear. Or I might just be there and I'm quiet and she carries on with you. By the time you are leaving, it doesn't occur to you that, oh, this guy, you've had a good time. My wife will talk with you, she will feed you, she will entertain you. But if there's a real problem to solve, I engage. Okay? So it's and this is what I'm trying to say. Get this. You will never become excellent in your area of weakness. So quit trying. Okay, you can only become excellent, okay, in areas where you're remarkable. In other words, good can become better, better can become best, but bad cannot become good. What you need to do is collaborate and see, you can take things to another level. So I am bad in an area, then I collaborate with somebody that is excellent where I am bad. The combination of the both of us mean that you get a total excellent experience. That's the beauty of collaboration. So instead of getting overwhelmed and allowing your weaknesses to undermine you, broker relationships, okay? Broker relationships. Look out. Once you define your weaknesses, be on the lookout for people who are strong where you are weak. Acknowledge them. Compliment them. Let them know that you need them. This is the way I like to describe it. Your gift gives you leverage, okay? Gives you a space in the life of other people. Your weaknesses keep you humble and give other people space in your life. So when we learn to collaborate, we can eradicate weaknesses, all right? We can eradicate what? Weaknesses. The next question I want to deal with is this. What if I am from a less privileged background? Okay? What if I'm from a less privileged background? How do I escape? I've got some suggestions for you tonight, and these are the suggestions I have for you. Start from where you are. Start with what you have. Leverage your gifts. Obey your teachers. Let me read them again. Start from where you are. Stop thinking you have to escape your current location before you can prosper. That's the first thing. Number 2, start with what you have. You may not have all the resources you need. What you have is your seed. It's enough to start with. And then number 3, so that you get what we're saying, leverage your gifts. Okay? Leverage your gifts. Listen, people are attracted to gifted people. Now, everybody is gifted. What does that mean? Everybody has a point of attraction. But the challenge is some people don't understand, okay, that look, this gift or this talent of mine is my ticket to wherever I'm going in life. So leverage it. All right, leverage it. The footballers understand that. Our Victor Osimhen grew up in Ojota. His gift is his ticket everywhere. He's all over the place now. He's famous now, not because of any other thing. And this is what I'm trying to let you understand. What will take you where you are going, okay, is already with you where you are. Victor Osimhen did not have to escape Ojota to be excellent in football. He started playing his football in Ojota. So start where you are, start with what you have, but focus on your gifts, okay? Polish your gifts, display your gifts. The moment people notice you are gifted, they will give you opportunities. And then this last one is important. Acknowledge your teachers and obey them. See, because for you to experience a shift, God is going to send you men. And one of the things they will do is what? Is teach you. Let me share this with you. Let me say it to you this way. You see, God sends people into your life not so that you can lean on them, but so that you can learn from them. So acknowledge your teachers and then obey them. Your deliverance is not what it's not in what they give you. Your deliverance is in you practicing the principles that they share with you. When somebody is in a better state and they offer you anything, whatever they give you is relief, it's not deliverance. The real deliverance is in the principles that they live by. So acknowledge your teachers and obey them. And then the final question is this: how do I cross boundaries in life? How do I cross social circles? How do I cross, societal barriers in life? It's very, very simple. Exceed expectations. That's the secret. Exceed expectations. Normalize excellence in your life. A teacher I respect a great deal said, excellence is the antidote to every form of discrimination. And what does it mean to be excellent? Exceed expectations. Deliver superior results. That is how you break barriers. That is how you cross lines. That is how you escape from one strata of the society to the next one. By excellence. Once you are excellent at whatever it is that you are doing, you will stand before kings, not before ordinary men. And as we round up tonight, please allow me to sound this note of warning. As we grow older, if learning has not become a habit, it becomes difficult. Let me say that again. As we grow older, if we don't make learning a habit, then it becomes difficult. Unconsciously, we replace learning with bias. And that's what happens to a lot of adults. They mention a topic, you say, I know it. A lot of times what you know about it is what you have always known about it. Okay, but you see, knowledge, okay, is like a river, it flows. Okay, there's fresh information every day. Fresh information every day. If you don't make learning a habit as you grow older, it will be stressful for you and you will be left behind. What am I advocating? Okay, normalize learning. Learn every day. Be hungry for knowledge. Solomon described it this way. He said, intelligent people are open to new ideas. In fact, they search for them. Listen to this. Only a few of the things we learned in school is necessary for our lives today. So, the purpose of formal education is not information, but discipline. And that discipline is, this openness to learning, this habit of learning. That is the only value you get from formal education. See, because the body of information that you learned while you were in school, that you were tested on, after some time becomes obsolete. But the habit of learning, once it becomes a part of you, then you approach fresh information, you learn, and then you can maintain your relevance. Like we used to say in those days of debates, with these few words of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that there is a way forward, that you can never corner a champion, and that you can find your way out of any predicament and get to wherever you want to get to in life. For everybody who's been a part of this journey with me for the past 5 weeks, thank you very, very much for being a part